Assalamu alaikum, everybody. On book club. I just finished reading Surah 17, Al Isra, the Night Journey. Um, a lot of repeated notions again. Some things I would like, some things were restated but clarified a bit more. And I want to get into it, but before I get into it, I have to say, kind of divine coincidence. The name of the story that I read last night. Last night, I was thinking about doing more Crown Book Club, and then I was like, no, I'm exhausted. I don't have the energy for it. And I was feeling very crazy in my head last night. My brain was just swarming I always say my head sometimes feels like a swarm of bees. And I was definitely feeling swarm of bees up there, which I think is, didn't I read bees yesterday? And I read bees yesterday, so I don't know, but I was like, I really need to clear my mind. I'm like really just I was like buzzing around about God and like what do I even really believe in? And I just feel like with 70,000 people here watching me on this excursion, it's been really cool and really helpful and really informative, and I'm really grateful that I'm being immersed in this culture and hearing what everyone has to say. But also, I'll say something, and someone will say one thing, and then someone says the opposite, and then someone says, "Don't listen to that person," and then someone says, "Don't listen to them." I don't know. I'm just like so. It's a lot of pressure, and there's a lot going on, and sometimes I'm really confused. Um, so of course, what I did about it last night is I said I'm going to go for a gigantic walk in the middle of the night by myself, which I did, and then I wake up this morning to read the Quran, and the surah is called "The Night Journey." So. Also, gotta say, I've been listening to the Arabic recitations every single surah since like surah 6 or 7. This was by far my favorite one so far. This one, like, I listened to it a little bit last night because after I got back from my walk, I was gonna start reading. And I was like, I can't. I was like, I just am too tired to read. I can't. But I started listening to it. And I read the first little couple verses of it, and this one just sounds beautiful. Like, it really sounds beautiful. Let's just get into like the random thoughts. So first, I'm gonna read verses 13 through 15. This one, I just was reading it and I was like, oh, oh. This is 13. We have bound every human's destiny to their neck, and on the day of judgment, we will bring forth to each person a record, which they will find laid open. And it will be said, read your record. You alone are sufficient this day to take account of yourself. Imagine it's Judgment Day and God gives you a book of every sin you've ever committed. It says, read it right now. Like, how about, imagine you're reading this book in front of literally God, and it's like, what about the time you threw a chair at your teacher? What about the time you screamed in your girlfriend's face? What about the time you stole $50 out of your mom's wallet? In front of God? Oh, that is gag word. That is like, in front of God. In front of, remember the time that you didn't stand up so that the old person could sit in your seat on the bus? In front of God? Could you imagine trying to explain? Well, I was really tired that day. 82. We send down the Quran as a healing and mercy for the believers, but only increases the wrongdoers in loss. I just really like the idea of like God sent this down as a gift. Like, this is for healing. This is for mercy. God gave this to us as like, you're welcome. Heal from this. Learn from this. Read this book, y'all. Read it. Did y'all read it? Has everybody read this book word for word? If not, you better crack it open. I just love that it says that he sent it down as a way to heal. I just, and we're going to talk about the Pharaoh and Moses, verses 101 through 104. We surely gave Moses 9 clear signs. 9. Let's read them in the footnotes, shall we? The nine signs of Moses are the staff, the hand, which is mentioned in Surah 20, so I'm not there yet. Famine, shortage of crops, floods, locusts, lice, frogs, and blood. Imagine some man shows up and 9 terrible, terrible things happen. 9. 9. You telling me this guy shows up and he says, if you don't believe in God, bad things are going to happen to you. And you're like, I'm not believing in you. Crazy pants. You're telling me that now there's a famine, a flood, there's swarms of locusts, there's lice, there's a million frogs, and there's blood? And y'all still said we rocking with the crazy evil Pharaoh? Blood? What is the blood? What was happening with blood? Was it rain? What was going on with the blood? Blood? The locust would have been enough for me. I can't stand them things. Ugh. Oh, I'm thinking of cicadas. I don't even care. The locust would have been enough. I would have seen bugs flying around. I would have said, I'm with Moses on this one. I say, you know what? I don't even want to be on team bugs. I'm with Moses on this one. To not believe in 9 signs is a little crazy. If you saw them directly in front of your own eyes, I could have seen that staff turn into a snake and I would have been like, oh, got it. Let me just hop ship real quick. When Moses came to them, you, O prophet, can ask the children of Israel when Moses came to them. Pharaoh said to him, I really think that you, O Moses, are bewitched. He says, actually, you're crazy. Also, how are you going to call him bewitched and you're running a city of magicians? And he's bewitched? Okay. Okay, and you called all the magicians to out-magic him. Okay. Moses replied, you know well that none has sent these signs down except for the Lord. The Lord of the heavens and the earth is in sight. And I really think that you, O Pharaoh, are doomed. Eat him up, Moses. He said, actually, first of all, I didn't do none of that. We all know that God did that. And second of all, you're doomed. And you're going to get cursed. And you're going to drown. And they're going to put your body in a museum. And you're going to look like you're screaming for your life. And everyone's going to look at you. Everyone's going to judge you. Everyone's going to remember how awful you were. So call me bewitched. Yeah. So Pharaoh wanted to scare the Israelites out of the land of Egypt, but we drowned him and all of those with him. And we said to the children of Israel after the Pharaoh, reside in the land, but when the promise of the hereafter comes to pass, we will bring you all together. Now, let's go back. How about verses 4 through 8? I got 2.5 minutes. And we warned the children of Israel in the scripture, you will certainly cause corruption in the land twice. And you will be extremely arrogant. Oh, that's a big word. See, that's kind of, if someone called me arrogant, I would be like, oh. When the first of the 2 warnings would come to pass, we would send against you some of our servants of great might who would ravage your homes. This would be a warning fulfilled. That's the first one. We're going to tear up your houses as punishment. Please don't knock over my Red Bull. Then after your repentance, we would give you the upper hand over them and aid you with wealth and offspring, causing you to outnumber them. If you act rightly, it is for your own good. But if you do wrong, it is to your own loss. So it's on you. And when the second warning would come to pass, your enemies would be left to totally disgrace you and enter that place of worship as they entered it the first time, and utterly destroy whatever would fall into their hands. Perhaps your Lord will have mercy on you if you repent, but if you return to sin, he will return to punishment. We have made hell a permanent confinement of the non-believers. He literally said y'all are going to do this twice, and y'all did it twice. You guys didn't listen. Did they do it twice? Seems like someone's doing it right now. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to Quran Book Club. I just finished reading Surah 17, Isra, The Night Journey. Severe apologies for the audio quality on the last video. I did not realize my AirPods were still connected. I have since disconnected them, and let's get into some more about Surah 17. Guess who's back? The pagans! Verse 60. And remember, O prophet, when we told you, certainly your Lord encompasses the people, and we have made what we brought you to see, as well as the cursed tree mentioned in the Quran, only as a test for people. We keep warning them, but it only increases them in defiance. So we keep telling you all these things, and y'all aren't even listening. Y'all are just getting more and more defiant. Y'all just want to fight with us at this point. That's how I'm hearing it. I want to get into this. The cursed tree, footnote 525 reads, The tree of Zachem, which grows in the depths of hell, as mentioned in Surah 37, which I am very excited to read Surah 37. Is that Surah about hell, or did they just mention this tree? Because I'm actually so interested to hear about hell from the Islamic perspective. The tree of Zachem, which grows in the depths of hell, is mentioned in this surah. The pagans of Mecca used to make fun of the Prophet and say, how can a tree grow in hell? How can a tree grow in hell? Have you been there? Perhaps it's a magic tree. Perhaps they're not watering the tree. Perhaps it grows from sin. Perhaps that's how you feed it. That's what I would assume. A tree growing in hell. Also, why are you judging? Like, why are you being... How could a tree grow in hell? That's a cool concept to me. I bet you the tree in hell is thick. I bet you it's huge. And I bet you it looks really cool. Okay? And I want to hear more about this tree from hell, because I've never heard of that in my life, and that is cool. To me, that's cool. How can a tree grow in hell? Can you just admit that that's sick? How about that? Verses 68 through 69. These are labeled as human ingratitude and false immunity. 66 reads, it is your Lord who steers the ship for you through the sea, so that you may seek his bounty. Surely he is ever merciful to you. When you are touched with hardship at sea, you totally forget all the gods you normally invoke except for him. When he delivers you safely to shore, you turn away. Humankind is ever ungrateful. This concept is mentioned frequently in the Quran, which is you will ask God for help or for forgiveness or for safety, and God will be like, because he's all merciful, he'll be like, okay, sure. You know what? Let's get your boat back home safely. Let me put some work in real quick and get this boat home safely. And then as soon as you walk on land, you're like, peace out, God. Never believed in you anyway. Like, why did I just bring your boat home? Genuinely. Why are you seriously trying to... And I guess I'm guilty of this in the past. And I try not to be anymore, but... How are you going to ask God to do something for you, and then God does it for you, and then you're just like, never mind, I wasn't being serious. False immunity. Do you feel secure that he will not cause the land to swallow you up? Huh? Well, you think he's just not going to punish you for that? You think he rained brimstone on these people. Like I said in the last video, he brought locusts and frogs and blood and famine, and he made a tower collapse. He flooded a mountain. You just feel like he's not going to swallow you up and punish you? He could have sank that ship if he felt like it. And he didn't, because he's all merciful, which we'll get in. I'm getting into that merciful in another video. He then says, do you feel secure that he will not cause the land to swallow you up or unleash upon you a storm of stones? Huh? Prophet Lut. Then you will find none to protect you. Or do you feel secure that he will not send you back to sea once again? Guess what, babe? You might have to hop back on that boat. Gotta catch some more fish eventually. You might need to travel. And send upon you a violent storm, drowning you for your denial. Then you will find none to avenge against us. He said, oh, you asked for my help, and then I helped you, and then you're not even gonna praise me? Oh, okay, well, let me just sink that ship next time, babe. Let me just sink it next time. And I bet you he probably will. Because why are we doing this over and over again? Why are we asking God for help, and then he helps us, and it's like, wow, thanks, God, that's so nice of you. And then what? You're just gonna turn your back on him and say, yeah, it probably wasn't God, though. You literally just asked for his help. Like, you quite literally, you just asked. Like, if you're sailing home and you're like, wow, I feel like this boat's going to go down. Like, this is getting crazy. And you make it home safely. I can see why you'd be like, oh, we did that, guys. We worked hard together. You literally asked God for his help. Like, you literally did ask him. This part, 89 through 93. And we have truly set forth every kind of lesson for humanity in this Quran, yet most people persist in disbelief. They challenge the Prophet. We will never believe in you.
We will never believe in you until you cause a spring to gush forth from the earth for us, or until you have a garden of palm trees and vineyards, and cause rivers to flow abundantly in it. First of all, isn't that what they describe paradise like? Like, what, you want me to just create paradise on earth? Isn't the whole point that you're a good person so that you'll go to paradise after earth? You want me to just build it like this is Minecraft. Or cause the sky to fall upon us in pieces, as you have claimed. Or bring God and the angels before us face to face. Just bring an angel. How about you just call up the angel? I'm so sick of them being like, just show us an angel then. Do you think I know the angels? You think I got the angels on speed dial? What is it with that? We want to see an angel. Well, we want to see an angel. Where are we supposed to get the angel from, babe? Exactly. Like, do you think they're... Like, are they just going to call up an angel? Who would send an angel down besides God? Right. Exactly. Or until you have a house of gold, or you ascend into heaven. A house of gold. Like, they sound ridiculous. And even then, we will not believe in your ascension until you bring down us a book that we can read. We'll believe you if you ascend to heaven, but actually, if you ascend to heaven, we won't believe you until you come back down with a book. Babe, I'm literally telling you the book. You want me to go up there and take the book off of God's bookshelf and then come back down with the book? I'm telling you the book. He's speaking the book through me. I'm literally telling you the book. You could write it down. If you want to, you could write it down. Like, it's hypocrisy. It really, truly is. You want us to bring it in. So you're telling me, this is the list of demands from the pagans. You want me to cause a spring to gush forth from the earth, create paradise on earth, pretty much, cause the sky to fall into pieces like Chicken Little, bring God and an angel down from heaven, face to face, make a house of gold, and then ascend into heaven, and then actually come back down from heaven with a book so that you could read it, and then you'll believe in God. Allegedly. Then you'll believe. You have a list of demands like this is a hostage situation. And the whole time we're telling you, you don't have to believe if you don't want to. God's just going to punish you. That's it. You don't have to believe. God's just going to punish you. And you're talking about a list of like 10 things that you need done. And didn't you ask somebody else earlier to make a God? Bring an angel, go to heaven, come down with the book, and make a new God. It's crazy. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to Quran Book Club. This is the last video for Surah 17, Isra, the night journey. God is giving us a list of 13 commandments. They're listed as commandments. These ones sound a bit more similar to the 10 commandments that I learned about, so let's get into them. Commandments 1 and 2, worship God alone and honor your parents. It says, do not set up any other God with God or you will end up condemned and abandoned. For your Lord has decreed that you worship none but him and honor your parents. If one or both of them reach old age in your care, I like this, never say to them even, ugh. Never even go, ugh. I gotta take care of my parents. Nor yell at them, rather address them respectfully, and be humble with them out of mercy, and pray, my Lord, be merciful to them as they raised me when I was young. These people raised you when you were a kid, you couldn't take care of yourself, and now that they're old, you need to take care of them. Which I think that's fair. Your Lord knows best what is within yourselves. If you are righteous, he is certainly all forgiving to those who constantly turn to him. Number 3 and 4, give and don't waste. Yeah, sounds good to me. Give to close relatives their due as well as to the poor and needy travelers, and do not spend wastefully. Surely the wasteful are like brothers to the devils, and the devil is ever ungrateful to his Lord. Do not spend wastefully. So you hear that? Allah just said, don't buy that Gucci belt. You don't need that Arc'teryx jacket. And you severely do not need those Rick Owens Converse. Okay, how about you spend your money a little bit more wisely? And how about you spend your money a little bit more productively? Perhaps you could give to your relatives who need it. Perhaps you could give to poor people. And perhaps you don't need to buy an ugly sweater for $1,000. Thanks, God. Love that one. But if you must turn them down because you lack the means to give, while hoping to receive your Lord's bounty, then at least give them a kind word. If you can't even spare some money, at least be kind. And I think Miss Thickum, she just touched the camera. She liked that one. I think at the very least, let's say a homeless man comes up to you, asks for money, you have no money to give him. At least turn him down gently and at least give him some kind words for his journey. We don't need none of this. Well, I don't get money because you never know what they're going to use it for. What they might spend it on drugs. Just be kind. You don't have money to give this man, don't give it to him. But be kind. You don't need to. You watch it. Just be. Do you need to go downstairs? Oh, I'm sorry for her behavior. Perhaps she disagrees with that point. But I don't. I say you just be kind to people who are less fortunate than you. Especially, I don't need no one to come. I don't want to hear no complaining about what homeless people spend their $10 you gave them on, considering y'all are spending money on Gucci belts. Next part. Number 5, spend moderately. Do not be so tight-fisted that you will be blameworthy, nor so open-handed that you will end up in poverty. Surely Lord gives abundant and limited provisions to whoever he wills. That's, I think, fair. Don't be giving out all your money so that you don't even have money and now you're poor. But also, don't be stingy with that money. Don't. Life is about balance. Life is about balance. 6, treasure your children. Do not kill your children for fear of poverty. Duh. Number 7, do not commit adultery. Do not go near adultery. It is truly a shameful deed in the evil way. And I always said, if you want to cheat on somebody, just break up with them. 8, do not kill. Do not take a human life made sacred by God except with legal right. If anyone is killed unjustly, we have given their heirs the authority, but do not let them exceed limits in retaliation, for they are already supported by law. Fair enough. Unless they had it coming. And it follows the laws of the Lord, basically. Why are we killing people? And honestly, I ain't never heard of any Muslim country or any Muslim military killing people that didn't start it. So I feel like in America, every time they want to talk about certain countries that are at war, I feel like, well, usually we started it. So number 9 and 10, protect the orphan's wealth and honor pledges. Do not come near the wealth of the orphan unless intending to enhance it. Until they attain maturity, honor your pledges, for you will surely be accountable for them. If you're stealing money from orphans, you're sick and twisted, and you're going to hell for sure. I don't even need to ask Allah his opinion on that, because it's obvious. If you're stealing money from orphans, you're going to hell. Okay, I didn't think that needed to be clarified, but apparently it needed to be clarified. Number 11, maintain fairness. Give in full when you measure and weigh with an even balance. That is fairest and best in the end. Yeah, just be fair. There's always this phrase that gets thrown around, which is people say that's not fair, and people go, well, life isn't fair. Life isn't fair because of people like you. Okay, in my world, life is fair, and I try my best to be fair to people. If you want to talk about, well, life isn't fair, because certain people aren't being fair. Okay. Number 12, be sure. Do not follow what you have no sure knowledge of. Indeed, all will be called to account for their hearing, sight, and intellect. Now this one gets me. Do not follow what you have no sure knowledge of. Indeed, all will be called to account for their hearing, sight, and intellect. In my opinion, how can we be sure of any religion? I feel like the Hindus are sure of what they believe in, the Christians are sure of what they believe in, the Muslims are sure what they believe in, the Native Americans are sure what they believe in. But I guess maybe this is saying don't just follow something blindly just because someone told you about it. Like, perhaps when I went to, I guess, everyone says Jesus died on the cross to forgive you for your sins. The Quran does not agree with that. But, I mean, we don't have proof or evidence that Jesus died on the cross. We're not sure. I guess maybe it's saying this, don't believe what someone just tells you. Be sure of what you are believing. And Maybe do a little thinking for yourself. That's maybe kind of how I'm perceiving that, because I don't know. What do we think of verse 36? 17:36, I'm going to read it again. Do not follow what you have no sure knowledge of. Indeed, all will be called to account for their hearing, sight, and intellect. Everyone sound off in the comments what you think of that. The last one, 13, be humble. Be humble. And do not walk. Oh, I love this one. I remember I wrote this one down. And I put, yeah, in my notes again. And do not walk on this earth arrogantly. Do not walk on this earth arrogantly. Surely you can neither crack the earth nor stretch to the height of the mountains. You're not God. You're not special, babe. You're not a prophet. Clearly, you cannot crack the earth nor stretch to the height of the mountains. So don't be acting like you're better than other people. Don't be acting like you've got... And this, I think, maybe some people in my comments could hear. Don't be thinking that you're the word of Allah. Don't think that you're better than people and that you can just... That you have space to judge others and speak on others and that you're better than others. Do not walk on this earth arrogantly. I'm going to read it again. Do not walk on this earth arrogantly. What does arrogance get you in life? Besides hated by everybody else. Quickly. And a lot of people on this earth are arrogant. A lot of them. And probably, there's 70,000 of you. I'm sure some of you are arrogant. Want to talk to me about the sins that you think I involve myself with. Which I think it's crazy to some of the people who are just claiming that I'm committing certain sins. You don't know me. You don't know my life. You don't know the things I've done and the choices I've made. So let's not even start accusing me of committing certain sins when you're being arrogant. Telling me I need to do this, and if I don't do this, God's going to hate me, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You're not God. This is God. And what did God just say? Do not walk on this earth arrogantly. I try my best not to be arrogant, and I think God really understands that. So I think if you think I'm committing a sin, and I'm going to hell because of a sin I'm committing, perhaps you should try and not be so arrogant. And perhaps you could, how about this one? Perhaps you could just start giving your money away to people. Are you doing that all the time? You might not eat pork and you might not listen to music, but are you giving money to poor people? Are you honoring your parents and taking care of them? Are you being humble and walking on this earth without arrogance? And if you're not doing any of those things, I don't want anyone to tell me what I'm doing and what I'm not doing and what sins I'm committing. When God just laid out that you should not be arrogant, and that's 10 minutes.